Record too.
Record.
Yay. Woohoo. Recording in progress.
Ooh, how much eggnog did you have to drink this
Nothing.
morning?
None. Cheers. I didn't even put anything in here. It's black as usual.
No
Good morning. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you choose to call this celebration time, we're happy you're here. It's Feng Shui Friday with Anita. She's over there most of the time, at least on my screen. And Cheryl.
Yeah, which way? I got to point this way, I think.
Well, to me, you look like you're that way, but until we see the recording, we never know what direction we're pointed.
I think that's it. Okay.
Heck, we don't know what direction we're going in most days.
That's right.
Look at the star that is born across from me.
Because there's a star in the east, and the wise men and women. I'm sure there were women there.
Of course there were.
Yeah, there were wise women.
Mother Mary.
They were probably the ones that told the wise men to get going, right? They're the wise women said, "Come on, get going. Look at, can't you see the star? Like, hello, come on already, get the gifts."
Well, we were talking about that just a few seconds ago, and we should talk about frankincense and myrrh as they were presented as gifts, because we often use those when we're doing what, Anita?
Space clearing.
Yeah,
space clearing. And frankincense and myrrh have a really, I know with the Young Living's oils too, that they have a very high frequency or high vibration.
And
I
wonder
so
why.
It is no wonder that they were given
as gifts
for baby Jesus, because they, the potency of them. So yesterday, actually, as many people, I'm sure you all did, got the house cleaned and, did all that stuff. And I didn't do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it after we get off this call. After I was all done, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a space clearing. I'm going to do a cleanse because it's that unseen energy that we need to clean as well. And what we need to do is when we put some of that, frankincense or myrrh or
combination
burn a candle or anything like that, really you are cleaning the air, and it's the positive ions that are an electrical charge that are in the air that you actually want to capture, and the negative ions are what we want. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take these stars off because they're bothering me.
Are you seeing double? My snowmen are just perfect.
I'm feeling like I'm like
cross-eyed. Well, we already had one card fly out. So let's talk about A, why we wear the glasses, and B, what we're doing.
Okay, so here we are learning to use the F word and teaching people how to look at their environment energetically, seeing through a different set of lens. And that's why we wear our Feng Shui eyes. We call them our Feng Shui eyes. And our topic for the day is always from the Personal Paradise card deck. Feng Shui Paradise card deck. I should have done my nails today so I would have a better image. From Tara Catherine Collins, our mentor. Cheryl shuffles, and then we talk about whatever comes up. And so we are episode 44 today. Good morning, Matthew.
Oh, hey, Matthew. Episode 44. Holiday. Like, we're going to talk about numerology at the end.
Matt.
But we had two cards come out. Now, they didn't come out at the same time. So today I'm going to explain, because we've done so many single topics. The first card that came out was a topic we've already covered. So I kept shuffling until we got another card, which itself has come up several times. So it's quite entertaining. So the first card that came out, actually, they're perfect because it's always perfect. So the first card that came out is the number 23 card, the kitchen. And that won't be busy in anybody's homes right now.
No.
And the number 15 card, the front entrance.
Again.
This has come up a lot. a lot lately, which is interesting. So I love the combination. We've got the 1 and the 5 equals a 6, the 2 and the 3 equals a 5, and together they equal 11.
Ah, and that's the
Aw,
star. That's the
there's our star.
illumination, right? That's
Well,
wow, we're shining some light on so
cool.
that they
Well,
could
let's
find
let's
maybe
shine some light on the kitchen and feng shui in the kitchen.
feng shui in the kitchen. Well, you know, it's always interesting that in the kitchen, when you're preparing the meal and getting ready, you know, there's chaos, right? There could be stuff. I mean, my husband mentioned this morning about my mom when she cooks. You know, there's stuff all over the place. You know,
That's my
my
sister.
sisters
Sorry,
are like
Lori.
that. My
But
sisters are like that too. You know, they take something out and they don't just use it and put the lid and put it back up. You know, they have to leave it. They have to leave it all out. I don't know what. I don't know where that came from. But, you know, there's like freaking chaos, right, in the kitchen. But then, you know, it kind of goes back. And it goes back, you know, everything gets put back somewhat, you know, in its place. And you go, ah. So now imagine if you have that chaos all the time, then what? Right? If you had that chaos all the time, would you feel overwhelmed? Would you feel like, you know, rushing around and all of
your
that kind of
mouthpiece
stuff?
is too low.
Too low.
Will it
Okay.
bend?
Yeah, I'm bending it. How's that?
It keeps dropping down when you let go.
I don't know. Okay.
That's better. There we go.
Okay.
Just so
Maybe
we
I'll
can hear you.
Okay.
Because you're so knowledgeable.
I
So
can
anyway,
turn
your
it up too.
sister's in chaos.
Yeah. But imagine though, because we've all had that chaos. We've all had that chaos in the kitchen before. You know, when we're cooking and getting ready for extra people, we've all had that chaos and we know what it does to our body. We know how it makes us feel. So imagine if you're living in that kind of chaos all the time, you know, that you're having that feeling constantly. And of course, you know, we have the 21-day decluttering challenge coming up. People can register for, and we go through that and a whole lot more. But again, you know, the kitchen is the hub, right?
Yes.
It's the hub of the home.
Yes.
It's that place where everybody likes to gather. And it's because there's things going on and the heat, you know, the fire element, the stove is on, and there's all kinds of energy happening around the kitchen. It's an action filled place and everybody loves to huddle around the kitchen. Yeah.
And I know one of the things,
kitchen, you know, what do you do in your kitchen? Right?
Yeah. What do I do in my kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, your kitchen.
As little as possible.
I know, but what's on the counters?
Very little.
Ah.
Very little. I grew up having to clean up behind my sisters. And we had a small farm kitchen, of course. Like I say, the original tiny house. You argue with me on that. But anyway, we digress. Yeah, very little on my countertops because I like an easy wipe off. I like the feeling of space. I like the feeling of it just open and inviting in my kitchen. I don't like chaos. I don't like clutter anywhere. There are a few things. So this year for the holidays and a few of the corners, I've got little vignettes set up with the holiday stuff, like a couple trees and, you know, we wish you a Merry Christmas sign and a few things like that. But I don't have excessive, mind you. I also did the 21-day decluttering challenge and I focused on the kitchen,
right,
which took me the entire program. And there were probably, I want to say 7 boxes donated out of the kitchen. Because we've been in this house 20 years and stuff gets stored back in the back of the cupboards. But you're right, it is the hub. And we used to tease because growing up in Saskatchewan, we called them kitchen parties. Anytime you had a party at your house, everybody wound up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And whether it's a Saskatchewan thing or not, friends used to say, that's a Saskatchewan thing. I don't know, but it is the hub of the house, right? That's where everything's going on. And if you add the chaos on top of the people or the people on top of the chaos, then it just gets out of control. And pretty
Yeah.
soon you're going, I just want to go someplace and hide.
Yeah, it becomes overwhelming and it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be, right? So if you have, you know, and this is, really a feng shui tip, I think, for all year long,
Yeah.
is to keep those countertops to a minimum,
Yeah.
right? You do not need the mix master out on the counter if you're using it once a month or once a week to make bread or something like that. You do not even need the toaster out on the counter. It can go underneath. Really think about what is on the counter space,
Mm-hmm.
what you actually need to have immediate access to, and or is there an alternative place that you could put it, right?
Yes.
Because imagine, when you're just walking into your kitchen and you're seeing all of that stuff all over the countertops, it's like wherever your eye goes, that's where your attention goes. And pretty soon you don't even know what the heck you're in the kitchen for, because it's like boom, 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 it's like a little ping pong ball. Your attention is going everywhere. And meanwhile, you're like, oh yeah, right, I'm supposed to be in here making supper.
Yeah. Oh,
So
well,
what can
we
you do to make your life easier? That's what it comes down to.
exactly. And we talk about everything is alive with energy.
Mhm.
So if you're walking into your kitchen and you have all of this stuff on the cupboards, it's all calling your attention, like Anita just said.
Yep.
So the mix master is saying, use me. The toaster is saying, use me. Hello, I'm over here. Did you forget this? Oh, there's a list. There's dishes out. Oh, we got to do a dishes and we got to do this. And there's, oh, I should just stop and have a coffee. Oh, but if I'm going to have a coffee, I need to move this to get to the coffee pot. Like, it's just
Mhm.
the chaos. What I've noticed or observed is some people are so accustomed to that. They've become
Yeah.
complacent to it. They don't realize how it's affected their system until they go away on a holiday or they're at someone's house that is calm and they
Yeah.
just go, and they stop for a moment. And if you're one of those people, take a look at your environment. I love our home. I hunker down. I have absolutely no problem just chilling and relaxing in our home.
It's a beautiful home.
Thank you.
And of course, having it well organized
And feng shui.
feng shui makes a huge difference, because at the end of the day, all those things are here to serve you. Possessions are here to serve you and not the other way around. Root word possess,
Mhm.
right? So make your holidays a little bit easier, and clean off some counters and just see what a difference that makes.
Cool. All right, let's talk about the other card, the number 15 card, the front
Oh,
entrance.
the front entrance. And again, we're also coming into the Chinese New Year. February 1 is Chinese
You
New
betcha.
Year, and that's all about the entrance. And the entrance to the home is like mouth. This, right? It's the mouth of chi. It's where the home takes in its sustenance.
Lift up your
We take
mouthpiece.
in our sustenance from
Boy, that thing just wants to move around, doesn't it?
I don't know. It's my head.
No, it's too low.
Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Okay. Cheryl bought me this new headset for Christmas. Thank
My
you,
fault.
Cheryl. And so yeah, I'm just, this is my
It's our
Christmas
first time.
present. I'm
It's
just,
our first time with it.
getting used to it.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah, so the entrance. It's where the good chi comes in. So, make it festive, right? Put a wreath on
Dress
the
it up.
door. Make sure that the sidewalk is shoveled and the snow, or I keep my planters out outside in front of the step, and I put artificial Christmas trees in them. What can you do to attract some of that energy so that it's drawing people in and making them feel like, oh, this is lovely, lovely, lovely.
It is. And I read this somewhere. I don't remember who wrote it or whatever the case may be, so I apologize, but it was a great tip because what it said was if delivery people, strangers have a tough time finding your front door.
Yep.
Now, if this is your home or your business, so this is relevant to everybody, then guess what? So does the chi. So does that positive chi flow that we want to invite into our homes. So if it's hidden behind overgrown trees and overgrown shrubs, and if there's a gate blocking it, and if you're fenced behind this, and it's, you know, for in some areas that's your security, and I totally get that. But what else can you do to invite the chi in? Right? If we live in a gated community, well, so be it. That's your security. But your home needs to still invite that chi in.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, even sometimes it's just a matter of a house number, replacing the house number, something that, you know, again, like you say, Cheryl, invites you in, that is easy to find, you know, any of those things. Because again, just think about it. When you go into somebody's home, so for the very first time, you're invited over for dinner to somebody's home or whatever, you stop by there and you come into the entranceway, and that's your first impression walking in the door, right? So if you immediately feel safe, welcomed, and comfortable, then your whole nervous system relaxes and you're able to come into the rest of the home and feel joyful and happy and all of those things. But now if you go to somebody's home and you come in the entranceway and you're tripping over the dog's bed and there's a whole bunch of coats in the corner and you're not sure where to put your shoes because there isn't a mat at the door, and you know, then all of a sudden now you're confused and you're feeling uneasy in the space, and chances are your nervous system is going to be responding to that, and you may feel that anxiety or that fight or flight kind of feeling where you just, well, you know, I'm not so comfortable, so I'm not going to stay so long. I'm just, you know, hey, it's nice to meet you. Be very, so, you know, minimally social, and off you go.
Right.
And
very true.
And is that, you know, then is that really harvesting or these great relationships maybe with your new neighbor, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then judgment comes in, and then, you know, all these other things start to creep in, and yeah. Anyways.
Same with, and I just, because this popped into my head and I love it when I receive things in a visual, is I've entered into a house and I could only open the door enough to get in.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important. Be able to open the door fully, all the way.
Yeah, it's like giving somebody a big hug. You just don't go like this and go and hug them like this.
Well, some people do. But you do want to invite the chi all the way in. And if it goes back to that restriction, if you're only allowing in this much, so if people have to slide sideways, say that 3 times, to get in your front door, that's not terribly welcoming either. Yep. And I've seen it more than once that you can't open the door because there's a bench or there's a table or there's something behind the door. There's just too much stuff, literally. And it blocks the flow of chi. It blocks that important positive chi flow that we really want to invite into our homes because it needs to circulate in our lives. So don't close yourself off. And please, please, your front door associated with the address to your home should never be blocked off.
No.
Because you use other doors.
And you know, there is the flip side of that as well, Cheryl. If you walk into somebody's home for the first time and you're greeted by, you know, maybe an expensive sculpture or, you know, something that's where you're feeling like, okay, maybe I should only look at this. It's not to be touched. You know, that kind of feeling. Or years ago, and you know what? There's still some people that do it where they, you know, keep the plastic on the living room furniture. Remember that years
Oh,
ago?
yeah, my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they didn't, it was too good to use, and people,
People sitting on it would wreck it.
Right. So there's the flip side of that in the entranceway too, that you don't want everything to look so kind of in its place, like a gallery or something, that people still then will feel uncomfortable, right? So there can be uncomfortableness felt in either scenario. So again, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Balance. Come into your home as a guest, right? Put on your Feng Shui eyes and say, okay, I'm a guest in my home. How does this make me feel? How does this make me feel? And if you feel anyways uneasy or uncomfortable, then you need to shift something. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
let's talk about the numbers, because we got to talk about numerology.
Yeah, well, number 11, 1, 1, I love it.
11.
And of course, today's our 44.
Yes, that's the first number I want to talk about.
Okay.
The 44, because I want to say thank you. A year ago, when you think about it, we didn't even have the concept of doing these.
No.
And we just went, you know what? We have a lot of knowledge to share. So let's do it in the way we know best, and that's talking and teaching. Because we both like to talk and we both like to teach.
Just a little bit.
So thank you, my Feng Shui partner, wisdom wonder woman. This has been a real joy, and 44 episode on Christmas Eve is pretty special gift.
It is.
Pretty special gift.
Because you know what? It's so much fun doing it with you, and it's so much easier when we, collaborate and do these things together.
Oh,
that
way
makes it
easier.
more joy filled. And of course, I really, can't think that I wouldn't have done this without you.
Yeah, it's way more fun with somebody else. Yeah, I agree. So the number 8 for 44 for our 44th episode, infinity and beyond, because we refer to Toy Story often. Isn't that from it there?
And it's like the yin yang, right? It's like the yin yang symbol. It's
continuous.
About balance. It's about circulation and knowing that the energy is flowing, always coming back to us and going around and coming back to us and going around and coming back to us. And there's a lot of information that we can glean from symbols and or symbolism. And the Asian people consider 8 the prosperity number, and it's for that reason, because it's that energy that's flowing. There's a constant flowing. That energy is just not flying out there. It's coming back and
circulating.
It's circulating. And of course, so yeah, it's very auspicious.
And a very auspicious number. So I have to read from this book, and we're going to tell you, I refer to this book all the time, because the two authors, Marilyn Harper and Joy Roby, I probably did that backwards because I can't look what I'm seeing. Marilyn Harper and Joy Roby. Double Digitology is the name of the book, but it's interesting because lots of people call it the 1111 book because of so how important are visuals, right? The 1111 book? No, it's Double Digitology. Marilyn channels Adironda, being from the 17th dimension, and the Council of Light. And by the way, check her out on Facebook because she channeled Yeshua this week.
It was very good.
It was extremely powerful. But I want to read one paragraph about the number 8 in this book. Adironda looks at things a little bit differently. The 8 is a constant coming and going, incorporating a constantly shifting frequency. When we look at the energy between people, if we were to draw a line between those people that follows the energy path, it would look like a figure 8. So if I look at you and you look at me, right? Cool. The energy pattern between people is reflective. So if the energy is heated, it returns to the other person heated. If it is loving, it returns to the person loving.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
Very cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. And then of course the number 11.
That, is illumination, luminosity, spirit, it's a very spiritual number. It's a master number, and Master Joshua, came to earth on Christmas, the birth of Christ Christmas, right? Christmas. And you know what? I have to just share something here.
Okay, you got to move your mouthpiece again. It fell down too low. That headset's going back, by the way, unless we figure out a better use.
Oh, hey, you know what? Probably because I didn't have it turned. Let's try that.
Much better.
I had it turned. Okay, we got it. Okay.
Yay.
So I just have to share. I have 3 boys. They're not boys anymore. They're grown men.
Yeah.
But every year for Christmas, when they were little, they would always say, "Mom, what do you want for Christmas?" And I would always say the same thing. I'd always say, "I want peace in the land." Because, if anybody has 3 boys, and you know what that's like when they're younger. Half the time I was just the referee and the entertainment coordinator. However, so anyways, I always used to say, "I want peace in the land." And so one year, my youngest son, who I think he was about 12 at the time, enlisted the help of his older brother. And for that Christmas, I got peace in the land for Christmas. And this is what I got. I have to just show you. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Your hand's covering up the land, but yeah.
Okay.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So here he was, 12 years old, took a picture of himself doing the peace sign, and then had his brother help him and wrote "Peace in the Land." And that was my Christmas present. And, of course, it's one of my prided possessions because of that. But it's also, it's a very reflective, right? It's very reflective. And I was thinking about it this morning because it was like, that was pretty amazing, pretty enlightening for a 12-year-old boy to even think to do that. That peace in the land was so important to his mom, right? Yeah, it was kind of interesting. And again, it's really what we all want. It's really what we all want. We all want peace in the land. I'm gonna have to shove this thing in my mouth or something. I don't know.
I think it's because it comes down low and then comes back up.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
so really, at the end of the day, what do we all want?
Peace, love.
Peace in the land, right? Peace within our family relationships, peace within our neighborhood relationships and our community, and out in the land and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to read a couple points again from here about the 11. The 11 represents leadership on a global scale, positivity into a spirit of energy that others can feel in their heart, a signal of changing relationships and starting fresh, a spiritual change or step into a new position of your world. Karma may be playing a role in your world if you don't pay attention. An awakening to your purpose is necessary. A driven nature to being the change you would like to see in the world. I think that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
The other reason I wanted to bring this out is because next week, for the final Feng Shui Friday, learning to use the F word of 2021, we have a special guest joining us. Do we wait to tell them who it is?
Let's tell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one, the only, Marilyn Harper. Yay! I'm so excited. She's going to
be our
join us.
guest.
She's going to be our guest on Double Digitology, on Feng Shui Friday. I'm so excited about that. She is such a joy to be around. And here's what's cool. It's also the last Friday of the month where we do.
We do it on the first Friday of the month.
Oh, do we? Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, then I'll quit that. I'll just stop right there.
Anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
And we'll so you'll definitely want to tune in live next Friday, because who knows, maybe we'll even get to ask Marilyn a question or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
It will.
Anyway, we are way over our allotted 20 minutes.
Yes,
but that's not unusual for us.
No. So
you love us anyway.
Here's peace in the land. Wishing you all a blessed, joyous holiday season. Be safe, be warm, hug your people, tell them you love them, and we'll see you next Friday.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Go get some stronger stuff in your coffee. Clink.
Bye, all. Thanks for joining us.